Good morning to all of you.
गुड मॉर्निंग मनीष, कैसे हो?
Fine, sir. आप कैसे हैं सर?
बस बढ़िया।
Good morning to all of you. Department of Information Technology is conducting a 5-day online faculty development program on machine learning. It is sponsored by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. Today is the second day of FDP and it is started from 9 o'clock. Yesterday we conducted two sessions. First session was on the basis of machine learning and the speaker was Hariom Saran sir. Second session was on the basis of machine learning AI and its application and the speaker was Dr. Vikram Bali sir. Today we are going to conduct three sessions. First session will start from 9 o'clock and the speaker is Dr. Jagdish Bansal sir. And the session number 4 is started from 11:30 and the speaker is Mr. Satish Rai sir. After that, the session number 5 will be on the basis role of machine learning in IoT based security solution and the speaker will be Dr. Sudeep Tanwar sir.
सर की फ्राइडे में एक मेल आई थी, शुक्ला सर ने शुक्ला सर की फॉरवर्डेड मेल है। लगभग 68 पेपर हैं यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से।
We will start the FDP at 9:10.
फॉरवर्डेड कर रहे हैं भाई से।
Please mute
उसमें से
yourself.
शुक्ला जी से कल वही डिस्कशन चल रहा है। पहले उन्होंने कुछ वैसे पेपर बांट दिए अजीब अजीब से, हाई स्पीड कंप्यूटिंग। मैंने कहा शुक्ला जी ऐसे ऐसे कर लो, कुछ अजीब टाइप भाग ले लो, कुछ अच्छे फेमस दे दो, मतलब इस तरह से करके। तो मैंने लगभग 50-50 अप्रोक्सीमेटली रेशो बनाया कि 32-33 हम बना लें और 32-34 वो।
I request Dr. Kanika ma'am to proceed.
Good morning, Jagdish sir, and different participants from different affiliated colleges. I feel privileged to introduce Dr. Jagdish Chand Bansal ji. He is an associate professor at the South Asian University, New Delhi, and visiting faculty at Maths and Computer Science, Liverpool, Hope University, UK. He has obtained his PhD degree in mathematics from IIT Roorkee. And before joining SEU, New Delhi, he has worked as an assistant professor at ABV, Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management, Gwalior. He is the editor-in-chief of International Journal of Swarm Intelligence, published by InterScience. He is the steering committee member and the general chair of the annual conference series. He has from the for various scholars and published 60 research papers in various international journals and conferences. So I welcome you, sir. Please proceed with your session.
Thank you very much. Can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
My slides are visual, right?
Yes, sir.
Just a second. But now the slides are visual or not?
No, sir.
Okay. Just a second. Huh? Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, good morning, everybody, and Professor Manish, the administration principal of ABS. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak in this workshop. Today I am going to speak on drone swarm. Drone is not new, but the drone swarm is relatively new and it's a new technology. It's a new concept actually, and the entire world is looking for the drone swarm these days. I'll be happy if even if in between people wish to discuss something, they can unmute and can ask the question, and it will be good if the session can be helpful, not just for the attendance. So, sorry. The very first, let me list all the things which I'm going to cover in next 2 hours. Why the drone swarm is required. First of all, I will discuss what is the drone swarm. When I start, I'll say that, okay, without actually defining the drone swarm, I'll start with why we require this kind of problem. What is the problem? And then, of course, I'll define the drone swarm, and then why the research in drone swarm is required, why the study in the drone swarm is required. So those challenges I will discuss in the challenges in the drone swarm, and then I will see that what we do in the drone swarm, how the drones update their positions in a swarm, in a group. So that position update in drone swarm will be discussed, and then how they communicate with each other in the swarm. The drones, how the drones communicate with each other in the group, that will be discussed in the communication strategies in the drone swarm. Various application areas will also be discussed. Classification of different kind of drone swarm will be discussed. Then at last I will discuss the classification of different kind of drones also, so that we can understand that which kind of drones are more suitable for the drone swarm. I'll discuss, if the time will permit, I will discuss the swarm intelligence in general also. And of course, I will definitely discuss this present and future of the drone swarm. So that's my target. And I hope this lecture will accelerate you towards the study and research in this area. Let me tell you, in this lecture, in this 2-hour lecture, I'm not going to make you expert in the field of drone swarm. This 2-hour lecture will be an introduction about the drone swarm so that you can further explore it, further study it and can do something good. Okay, so let me start. So throughout the lecture, DS I will use for the drone swarm. So DS for the drone swarm. And let me tell you just before I start all this, swarm means a group of individuals. Now this swarm, any group is not a swarm. Let me just tell you that any group is not a swarm. There is a specific properties of the swarm. Suppose there is a swarm of, there is a group of individuals, group of people in the Chandni Chowk market. Just imagine this situation, then it is not a swarm. There are many people in the Chandni Chowk market, but let me tell you that everybody's objective is different. Somebody are rickshaw pullers, some are shopkeepers, some are agents, brokers, some are the customers, some are buying customers for the sari, some are buying suits, some are buying food items. Everybody has a different objective. So this group of people who are at present in the Chandni Chowk market is not the swarm. Swarm has certain properties. Let me just quickly tell you that any group is not the swarm. The group which has the same objective means if all the people are going somewhere or are gathered together for a specific objective, for a specific objective. For example, everybody wants to buy a sari from a particular shop, right? And there is a challenge in reaching that sari shop. Then also they are not competing with each other. The group members are not competing with each other. There is no competition among the individuals in the swarm. They are cooperating with each other, right? So the first thing is objective should be same and they are cooperating with each other. They are cooperating with each other. And when they cooperate with each other, they share the information with each other. Cooperation present among the group, and they all are working for the same objective, only one objective. Everybody has the same objective. In that case, a special kind of intelligence emerges among that group. That is called the swarm intelligence, and this particular group is known as the swarm. So I hope now the word swarm is clear. Every group is not the swarm. Don't mistake on this word that swarm is a group. No, then there should not be any other word. Swarm means a group of individuals working for a same goal with cooperation with each other. A cooperative group of individuals working for the same objective, working from the same objective is the swarm. And due to this swarm, their behavior and intelligence emerges in that group, that is called the swarm intelligence. So this is a very simple definition of swarm intelligence. Of course, in detail I can discuss there, but for time being, this definition was required. So swarm. Now, the UAVs, let me just first of all tell you that why we actually require, why we actually want that the drone swarm should be studied. What is the problem? So, the unmanned air vehicles or drones, UAVs or drones, whatever you call it, come in a great diversity depending upon the basic framework with their particular specifications. You can buy a drone of rupees 5,000. You can buy a drone of rupees 5 crores also. The drones are coming in such a different variety drones are coming up, and that's why they have the different usage. There are everybody of us must have seen the drones doing the photography in the marriages, right? So it's a one very simple example. So that drone has specific use. That particular drone is meant for hovering, not for covering a lot of distance in minimum possible time. So that drone has a different variety drone. There are other kind of drones. Of course, I'm going to discuss all kind of drones. So they have different kind of usage. Delivery drones are coming up these days. So let's analyze core characteristics of the swarming of the drones. We need to understand, for that, we need to understand the functionality. What is the functionality of the drone swarm? What is the problem in the drone swarm, why this problem is so difficult, and importance of the drones. Important thing is that the future is future transport, delivery. Look, transport, delivery, surveillance, security lies in the drones. This is the future technology. Anybody who will not be aware of the drones will left behind. Let me tell you, these, societies, residential societies, I assure you that in next 20 years, the jobs for, guard, for the residential societies are going to be very limited. Means maybe 1 by 10 out of 10 guards. After 20 years, there will be only one guard required, because at every gate there will be only backup team will be required. Actually the backup team is required. Everywhere you can have the surveillance through drones. Everywhere the 360-degree surveillance can be done using drone and drone swarm, of course. So swarms of drones are fundamental future agenda. This is the future and will be adapted with the passage of the time. I always also say that in next 20 years, there may not be any job for the fighter pilots. This is the future war technology also, that there will not be any manned aircraft, manned war aircraft. All will be the unmanned war aircraft. Everything will be autonomous, right? So, of course, there will not be any fighter pilot job. Of course, jobs will be there, but the drone pilot jobs will be there. And, a single man can handle, a single person can handle more than 100 drones together at a time, because it will be autonomous. It is going to be an autonomous system. All the drones will be flying autonomously. The pilot's job will only to just switch on and switch off. That will be the only job. So not much skills will be required. Now the skills will be required to develop this technology. So the one who will, as soon as adapted this technology, will be with the passage of the time. Okay. So, sorry. Okay. So what I want to say that swarm intelligence is simultaneously important. I told you that the drone swarm is important. You understand now the future of the delivery, future of the war technology, future of the surveillance, future of the transport is with the drones. So similarly, when the drones, instead of single drone, what if lot of drones work together, right? In that case, you require the swarm intelligence. Swarm, you will call that the swarm of drones, group of drones, or swarm of drones. So swarm intelligence is also important. Let me tell you, just apart from this drone swarm concept, singly swarm intelligence is also important. Let me tell you, the market driven by the application of artificial intelligence through the integration of the biological behavior has gained interaction. Actually, all the swarm intelligence based algorithms are inspired by the biological behavior of the social creatures. For example, ants, birds, monkeys, all these kind of social animals, they live together. So they show us a special kind of intelligent behavior that is called the swarm intelligence behavior. And this swarm intelligence behavior has gained a lot of market attention in recent days. And you can see here that there was a report, BIS research report. There in 2017, it was mentioned that the global swarm intelligence market generated USD 10.5 million. Right? As as far as the global swarm intelligence market is concerned, let me tell you, as far as the global swarm intelligence market is concerned, this amount, this USD 10.5 million amount is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big amount. But you see the compound annual growth rate, that is over 28%, more than 28% in 2019 to 2000. It was published in 2018. The report was published in 2018. So they said that from 2019 to 2024, in next 5 years, it is going to increase by 28%. And in next 10 years, 2019 to 2029, it is going to increase by 39.8%, more than 39%. Just imagine that next 5 year 28%, and if you take the 10 years period, then it will be 39 years. Of course, the prediction for 10 years is not much reliable as compared to the prediction for 28 years. So, 28 years prediction is more reliable. So at least even if it is 28%, you see the growth rate. So the future is with the swarm intelligence. Lot of algorithms uh, are coming up almost a weekly basis. I'm a student of swarm intelligence, so I say that on a weekly basis, people are developing new and new swarm intelligence based algorithms. And when the people are developing swarm intelligence based algorithm, they are developing because people are using the swarm intelligence based algorithms, right? There is an applications. There are applications of this swarm intelligence algorithms. Okay. I hope people are listening because I can't see anybody. Sorry. What happened? Since I cannot see
Yes,
anybody. Things are going on. I hope.
Yeah,
People are listening. I'm
yeah.
not. I'm not
Yes,
the
sir.
only one at the end.
It is audible, sir, properly.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Thank you. So swarm intelligence is
You
in
are
demand.
properly.
Yeah. Swarm intelligence is in demand because of the rising demand. The rising demand in the case of drones and robot applications. What I said here is that this is 28%. It is going to increase. The current market rate is this. Current market contribution is this. But let me tell you, all this demand, majority of this demand is coming from the robotics, of course, the drones, right? So drones and robots, these are the major part. Now I'm coming to the drone swarm, right? So you understand, I told you that the drone swarm is important, swarm intelligence is important, and I told you that the swarm intelligence is increasing like anything. The growth rate in swarm intelligence is like increasing anything. That is capturing the market. And how it is capturing the technological market because of the drones and robots. Because of the drones and robots. So robotics and drones are the major application area of the swarm intelligence. And why these drones and robots are becoming so popular? I hope anybody can understand, because of their industries, including commercial and military applications. So commercial and military applications, both kind of applications are there. So that is making the application of drones and robots very much popular. Increasing number of drones for defense and need for higher efficiency are some of the key drivers. These are some of the key drivers so that the drone swarm is becoming popular. Swarm intelligence is becoming popular. Every country nowadays, every country is in search of the drone swarm. Let me tell you, even the underdeveloped countries, not only developing countries, but undeveloped countries are also in search of the drone swarm, because it is the cheapest solution for the surveillance and the transport. Let me tell you, it is going to be the cheapest solution for the surveillance, for the war technology. So what I say, that common purpose for drones is a military one. The first one is the military one. Very first application of drones is the military one. Of course, other drones, but their civilian applications are also attracting increased attention in the recent times. For example, I hope everybody heard about this news that Amazon is introducing the delivery drones, and they have tested it in the US already. And of course, in India, In fact, the humans find difficult to find the addresses. Uh, so it is difficult to implement the delivery drone by Amazon in India. But one day, when the technology will be more robust, we will be able to implement this. I know that these self-driving cars, you just imagine a situation of these self-driving cars. So let me tell you that drones are not the only thing for which the drone swarming is required, but the self-driving cars. Self-driving cars are also, just you can imagine the self-driving cars as the 2D representation of the drone swarm. Why? Let me tell you. Just this is a very simple concept. Suppose this is the highway, right? This is the highway, and this highway is turning here. And here is the one. Here is the one self-driving car. Here is the another self-driving car. Here is another self-driving car, and here is another self-driving car. Now this self-driving car was running at the speed of 200 kilometers per hour, and this self-driving car, this particular self-driving car saw immediately that there is a sharp turn. There is a sharp turn right side. So it took this immediate brake, sudden brake. This because of the autonomous system. There may not be enough signals, or there may not be enough GPS signals it had at that time, but because of the sensors, of course, the GPS sensors, everything will work together for the self-driving car. Suppose at that particular time GPS signal were weak and it could not tell to this car that there is a sharp turn ahead of 100 meters. Then because of sensors, this car could understand. Now, since the GPS signals are weak here, it took the sharp brake, sudden brake, and it turned right side. Now you just imagine that if all these self-driving cars are interconnected, if they are connected, it is connected with this, it is connected with this, it is connected with this, then it is a swarm. Suppose it is a swarm and everybody's objective is to go safely, is to travel safely. So objective is same, and all the cars are there, right? So it's a group which is working together for the same objective. Right now, it immediately a signal, immediately a message is transmitted to the nearby all self-driving cars, to all the cars on this highway, that there is a sharp turn here at this point, and you be careful. So you just imagine that all these cars need not to take the sudden brake. They will slowly brake and will take the smooth turn. So just imagine the benefit of the swarming, that swarm intelligence, that if there is a connected system, if there is an interconnected system, then every member, discovery of one member can benefit to other members, without actually discovering by the other members. Other members has not discovered it, and still they are getting benefit of it, right? So this is a very good concept for the self-driving cars also. And of course, the same concept is for the drones, but it is in 3D space and it is in 2D space. So whether you are talking about the self-driving cars or you are talking about the autonomous system of the drones, it's the same thing, just the difference of 2D and 3D, and of course some other aerodynamic limitations also. So what I say that the swarm intelligence, the drone swarm, or the swarm intelligence in autonomous vehicles is going to be increased like anything. This is the future. So, of course, we cannot work independently. We cannot do the research independently for the entire solution. Somebody is developing algorithm, somebody is developing uh, the shape, the frame, somebody is developing the motor, somebody is developing the battery, somebody is developing the rotors, arms, somebody is working on the fuel. So somebody is working on the deep learning algorithms for the vision, for the vision based movement. Somebody is working for the sensors. It's a group project, but we can think of developing, if we do not have any sources, then we can think of developing the swarm intelligence algorithms for the for the drones or for the autonomous vehicles. For the autonomous vehicles in general, for the autonomous vehicles, I'm working on those. So I'm particularly working for the drones, for these drone swarm, these swarm intelligence based algorithms. So from last two and a half years, I'm working in this area. So what I say that the low cost drones and their swarm provides a promising platform for innovative research projects and future commercial applications that will help people in their work and everyday lives. There is, it's not a big deal that if tomorrow instead of taxi, instead of Uber taxi, you are calling the Uber drone taxi, yeah, for office, Uber drone taxi. So the distance from your home to your office reduces significantly. It may be the future. After 20 years, it may be the reality. And of course, in that time you are also flying in the sky. Somebody else is flying in the sky, and then of course swarming will be required. For example, on the road, many cars are running. In that case, all these red light, green light, all this, traffic rules are there. So similarly, some rules should be there in the sky also for the flying, and those rules are actually will be framed by the drone swarm algorithms. Okay, so okay, this video is taken from this research paper. Let me share you this video and will explain also. This video is taken from this 2018 research paper, Optimized Flocking of Autonomous Drones in Confined Environments. It was published in Science Robotics. And let me tell you that if you want to start your research, if you want to, if you have interested, you become interested in the drone swarm, then this research paper is the one most fundamental and most authentic paper, I feel. We have implemented, I have an international project on the drone swarm with one UK, where I'm as a visiting faculty. So there, I'm the our joint project. So we in that project we have implemented this research paper to and actually we are in the process of hardware implementation also, and meanwhile we have also modified the algorithm, the system, the objectives, everything we have modified also. So this one is the one most fundamental and most interesting one. Let me tell you about this video, and I request everybody to be attentive for this video. If we can understand largely the drone swarm concept from this video. Okay. So I will keep on explaining also during this video. So in between, I will keep on pausing and explaining. So optimized flocking. First of all, let me tell you that why the swarm intelligence is required. The swarm intelligence is required for the optimized flocking. There is a very simple concept. Okay, let me tell you that why the word optimized, why the swarm intelligence is also required. Let me tell you. Suppose this is a primary school question. Everybody, I think we have heard this question, that there is a wall, right? A wall. This wall can be made by one person made in 10 hours. Suppose one person is making this wall in 10 hours, right? Then the question is, the 10 persons will make this wall in how many hours, right? If one person can make this wall in 10 hours, then how many the 10 persons will take how much time? So the answer is 1 hour, right? If it is 1 hour, if the answer is 1 hour, then it is not a swarm intelligence. I tell you that then it is not a swarm intelligence. If 10 people are working, then the time should be less than 1 hour. If the time is less than 1 hour, then it is a swarm intelligence, means there is a benefit of, there is no meaning. Actually, there is no meaning except, if one person is solving the problem in 10 hours, then 10% is solving the same problem in 1 hour. Nothing intelligent, no intelligence. It's a straightforward, exhaustive search. It's an exhaustive search, right? So there is no intelligence, there is no technique here. But if 10 persons are solving the same problem or making this wall in less than 1 hour, then they must have used some technique. They must have shared the knowledge with each other. There must be an intelligence. There must be an intelligent behavior of these 10 people in making this wall. And that behavior is actually the swarm intelligence. So what I want to say, that if the swarm intelligence is present among these 10 people, then definitely this wall will be made in less than 1 hour. And our job is to develop new and new swarm intelligence based algorithm so that this time can be reduced as much as possible. This time can be reduced. So this is the ultimate objective, right? If you are not using swarm intelligence, then the time will be taken by 10 people will also be 1 hour. But if we can apply some swarm intelligence, some good swarm intelligence based algorithm, then the time taken by these 10 people will be less than 1 hour. I hope I'm now clear for this. So just a second, so that this is removed. It's a optimized flocking. I hope you understand. Optimized flocking means the total time taken by 10 people is less than 1 hour. So the total overall, there is a benefit of having a group. If instead of single flying, if 30 drones are flying together, there is a benefit. So what is the benefit? Is the optimized flocking. It may be the less time in finding the target. It may be the less time in finding the path, whatever. So optimized flocking of autonomous drones. Another thing is autonomous. Nobody is controlling. If there is a group of drones, then nobody is controlling them. The flight is autonomous. And important thing is, right now it is in confined environment. There is a defined environment, defined area in which they need to travel.
In this video, we will present fully autonomous multi-drone flights with a fleet of 30 quadcopters.
So these are the quadcopters. What is the quadcopter, hexacopter, octacopter? I'll just coming to that. Quadcopter means 4 arms. It has 4 arms, right? So 30 drones are there, and it is a physical demo. It's not a simulation. It's not a simulation. It's a real.
Fly in a confined area, avoid collisions with each other and with virtual obstacles.
So no collision with each other, right? They are avoiding the collision with each other, also avoiding the collision with the obstacles.
This is a challenging task that has never been accomplished before due to its complexity.
We started our project many years ago by studying natural phenomena that somehow exhibit collective behavior.
The important thing that he mentioned, that it's a natural behavior, natural phenomena of the collective behavior. I already told you that collective behavior is very important. Collective behavior, when a group of individuals cooperate with each other, work collectively for the same objective, only then you can expect the swarm intelligence. So he mentioned the same thing, that it's a natural phenomena which shows the collective behavior.
Animals, for instance, like birds or fish, control themselves by making decisions gathered from their neighbors, from local measurements and other individual decisions. Drones are our intelligent flying agents. When they are airborne, they make decisions based on the bio-inspired model.
So he mentioned that when they airborne, they take the decisions based on the bio-inspired models. Important thing is the decisions are taken independently, autonomously, not based on the uh, center, right? Control station. So control station has no control over these. Of course, they have the control, means they are not controlling the drones, that all the decisions and in which direction we need to fly, at what speed we need to fly, at what altitude we need to fly. So all these decisions are to be taken by these drones autonomously, right? So it's an autonomous system, and all these decisions are taken autonomously by the biological inspired behavior, right? Biological model. How the birds take decision while they flying, how the fish take the decision while they swim together, right? Swarm of school of fish, right? Or the flock of birds, how they fly together when they take the decisions.
That we have created. The uniqueness of our drone flock lies in the fact that they communicate with each other.
Yeah, this is one important thing, that they communicate with each other. How they are flying with means how the birds are flying together, how the fish school in the fish school, the fish are moving together, how such a large group is moving together. Do they have some predefined trajectories? Do they have some predefined target? How they or predefined, envelope, height envelope? No, actually they are connected with each other in real time. And how they are connected with each other, like this. This is, suppose, just imagine this is a one bird and this is another bird, total 6 birds are there. Then these 6 birds are connected with each other like this. It is connected with this, it is connected with this. They are connected like this. They are connected like this, right? And whatever the information, see, whatever the information this bird has, it is shared to this one bird. And now whatever the information, I told you that they are sharing the information with each other, cooperating with each other, means sharing of the knowledge with each other. So whatever the knowledge this has, now it has the knowledge of 2 drones. So it is sharing this knowledge with this and with this. Also, this is sharing the knowledge with this and with this. Now it is sharing this knowledge with this. So whatever the information anybody has in this group, it will be shared to every member in the swarm, So whatever the, suppose this particular drone is moving in this direction, and it saw that there is an obstacle here, there is a wall in this direction. So what it will do, it will start moving in this direction, and simultaneously other drones, they will not come here, up to here they will not come, they will start moving from here itself, right, in this direction. Why? So look here, that these drones have not reached here, and still they are moving in this direction. They are benefited by the discovery of this particular drone, right? So this is the benefit. I told you that optimized. What is the benefit? This is the benefit, that without actually reaching at that particular location, they other drones has changed their direction. So I told you that 10, what is the benefit of having 10 people to make that wall? It should be less than 1 hour, because if they are working together. This is the engineering. So in civil engineering, the labor management is also there. So how the work should be assigned so that the work can be done with minimum possible individuals, how they cooperate with each other. I think those who have worked in industry, they know about the software development. In software development, this is very common. The swarm intelligence is very common, that how they communicate with each other, so that in minimum possible time, the work can be done. So actually in the project planning, also the swarm intelligence is required. And if we can apply some good swarm intelligence based algorithm, then the project even further can be optimized. So in this drone, they have used the interconnected drones. What happened? Sorry.
Now exhibit animals, for instance, like birds or fish, control themselves by making decisions gathered from their neighbors, from local measurements, and other individual decisions. Drones are our intelligent flying agents. When they are airborne, they make decisions based on the bio-inspired models that we have created. The uniqueness of our drone flock lies in the fact that they communicate with each other in the air constantly. Their flight is neither pre-programmed nor controlled by a central ground station.
Our goal today is to...
So I already mentioned you that they are not controlled by the control station. It's an autonomous flight, complete autonomous flights. That's why I told you that the drone pilot job is also to just switch on and switch off. There will not be much job for the drone pilot also, and that can be done even by the unskilled staff also. So there will be a huge drop of the demand of the fighter pilots in next 20 years because of the drone swarm technology.
Present the principal building block of collective motion. Our drones will fly in a tight formation and remain within a bounded area. They will also avoid collisions with each other and with virtual obstacles. Similarly to natural systems, they will form coherent groups, split and reunite around.
Look here, this is how great thing he has mentioned that they just again, yeah. Whenever they require, this is the entire group cannot move, cannot pass from this area. So some people, some drones, this particular drone, this is a connected drone, right? This is a connected system. So this much number of drone, 2, 3, 4, right? So these number of drones pass through this and remaining pass through this, and they are also connected with each other. So they are connected, means whenever they require that, okay, divide ourselves into two smaller parts, there is a swarm intelligence based algorithm which we developed in 2014, spider monkey optimization algorithm. You can Google it after the lecture. So there also we mentioned this kind of concept that the drones, that the swarm intelligence can be achieved more efficiently if we can make this system autonomous, that whenever there is a requirement of making fission, it is called fission. This process is called fission, that one group is in another, one smaller group is in another direction and another group is in another direction whenever it is required. And when it is required to get together, then it is called fusion. So fission, fusion. There are two words, fission and fusion. So they are doing fission and then they are doing, look here, then they are doing fission, fusion. So they take the fission because of avoidance of these collisions, these obstacles. And after that, they made the fusion. So fission and fusion according to the requirements. And you see here, these are the GPS walls. These are the GPS walls. And these GPS walls are elastic actually. Elastic. Elastic means, you define that, okay, you have to find out the target in this 1 by 1 kilometer area. So they are of course working in 1 by 1 kilometer area, but they are moving slightly from these walls. So of course we can develop an algorithm where they will not move, where they will not touch the GPS walls, or they will not move away from the GPS walls. But if this flexibility we can give, then we can increase the speed, right? So when we were doing the experiment, we found that, if we will be too strict for the GPS walls, then the speed will be limited. Speed will be slow because, in the real time, they have to take decisions that if there is a wall, oh, let's move. Let's change the direction, right? So in that case, the speed will be slow. So if we are too strict for the walls, the speed will be slow. So if you want to increase the speed, and also the distance between inter-agent distance, means the distance between the two drones, if you want to reduce, then you need to make the walls elastic walls. Elastic walls means, okay, if it is this location, if it is this location, it can come slightly up to here, and there is no harm in considering this, because all these walls are usually the virtual walls. Virtual walls means, I told you that, okay, you do the surveillance at the border area, India-Pakistan border area. So they do they are doing these surveillance. And then I said that, okay, this is the wall, this is the last area, this is the fencing. So up to from here, you cannot go away. So if we are making it elastic, then we can make slightly less side, means around 1 meter, 1 meter or 2 meter walls we can make slightly inside. And then those walls will be the elastic walls, so they can touch that and or can pass away also, but they will ultimately will not go away from this fencing, the border fencing. So that can be done easily, right? So that we can have more speed. So in the minimum number of drones, we can do the surveillance of the large area, because reducing speed will not serve our purpose, right? So we want to increase the speed also, and simultaneously we want the swarming also. And that's why we usually consider the GPS walls as the elastic walls, right?
Unite around obstacles and turn collectively around walls. The challenge in this task is that the drones in the front will always have to inform the others at the back in time to avoid crowding at the.
So what he said is that the challenging task is that in sufficient time, in minimum possible time, these drones has to inform the other drones so that let me just
this is a
yeah. So now this drone is coming over the walls, so it has to inform these other drones that in minimum possible time, so that they change the direction to avoid the collision. Otherwise, all the drones will be here and they will collide with each other, right?
Hard task even for
Look,
people.
this
Situations
is important.
Football stadiums or concerts can cause accidents or injuries.
The novelty of our model is that we take into account the finite acceleration of the drones in their local interactions, which means that we can scale the model up arbitrarily to high speeds or a high number of drones without loss of generality or stability.
We always test our algorithms in a realistic simulation framework before flight and tune the parameters for best performance.
So you can see here that this is the simulation, and you can see here that the drones are moving away from the GPS walls also, right? So these are the walls. So they are moving slightly away, but it's okay. We need it to increase the speed.
We optimize our solutions with an evolutionary algorithm. Our aim is to.
So they said that the evolutionary algorithms are used. So they use this CMA-ES algorithm, and we are using, of course, we have implemented CMA-ES also, and we have implemented we have actually now converted this problem as a multi-objective optimization. They used this as a single objective optimization problem, and we used it as we solved the same problem again by multi-objective using an SGA2 also, then multi-objective PSO, and of course many algorithms we are using. And we are getting even better results than this person, because in a single objective they are going to give a single result, right? Only one result, and we are giving the results a set of results, Pareto friend, so that the same solution can be useful for the military, same solution is useful for the commercial, Amazon also, different applications. If one is very cautious about the walls, then he can use less speed. So we are giving both these cases, and not only two cases, many cases we are giving. So entire Pareto front we are giving.
Maximize the speed and the coherence of the flock while minimizing oscillations and collisions.
So this is the real flight. Let me tell you, this is the real flight they are doing.
From individuals to collective behavior, they quickly find a consensus on the direction they will be heading.
Look, the operator just switched on all the drones, and they all airborne together. They started flying in some direction together, right? And all this is done autonomously. And very quickly they decided that let's move in this direction.
After a short initial phase of hesitation, they find consensus and fly away smoothly. The quality of our model can be assessed by how efficiently the drones are able to make collective decisions. In a highly optimized system, collective motion patterns emerge naturally and remain stable throughout the flight.
And to visualize the flight, we created a program in which the color is determined by the direction of the drone itself. You can see that if I move around.
So this is one very important solution, and this they did actually an wonderful and excellent job in deciding the direction. You know, there is a 60-degree, 360-degree direction. So how these 360 directions are to be shared, that in which direction I'm moving. So for every angle, they have a color code. So, you know, as the direction changes, the color changes. So other drones can understand this color, can see the color and can follow accordingly. That, you know, I'm saying to you that, okay, you come this side, so you can see me and can follow me. How the drone should understand this, and this can be done by the color coding, so that the night flying is also possible.
Drone with different directions, it will change its color.
You know, this 360-degree direction is there. Here is the night flying. So now they are taking the direction based on the lights. So this was actually the one very important paper, and I strongly recommend that you should go through this research paper. Now let me define formally. It's a formal definition of the drone swarm. How it defines that an interacting, you know, 2 years before, when I was writing a project, I gave this definition, because till now there is no formal definition of the drone swarm. There is a background sound. Somebody has unmuted. Can anybody mute? Okay. So this is an interacting drone. Interacting means everybody is talking to each other. You cannot fly independently without communicating with others. So this all is an interacting system. So this is an interacting autonomous group. It's an autonomous group also. Autonomous group, I already told you that nobody is controlling them. Who is communicating with whom, at what speed we need to move, in which direction we need to move, all this is to be done autonomously. So it is an interacting autonomous group of drones. It's a group of drones. It's not a one group or two drones, one drone or two drones. It's a group of drones assigned to perform a task, A or some task. This is assigned to perform some task. This is one very important thing, that they are not just flying. They should be able to do some work. You know, 10 people are working together, but for what? To make the wall in minimum possible time. The target is minimum possible time. So similarly, all this group of drones are flying together autonomously by communicating with each other to perform some task, to reach somewhere, to take a photography or whatever is the objective. So they are able to do this task autonomously. This is the one formal definition of this. Uh, in drone swarm, it is expected that every drone has the same configuration and is able to perform a task which anybody else can do. In the drone swarm, everybody is homogeneous. Here, before I move forward, I want to tell you that there are certain properties of the swarm intelligence that monkeys and ants cannot make a swarm. You know, monkeys can make a swarm, ants can make a swarm, birds can make the swarm. So for the swarm, the very first condition is that the system should be homogeneous. All the members of the swarm should be homogeneous, should be of same configuration. So I mentioned here that they should be of same configuration and is able to perform tasks which anybody else can do. So if one monkey can go in this direction, another monkey can also go in this direction. So similarly, if one drone can do one task, then another drone can also do the same task. It is required. Let me tell you, it is required. Without this, perfect swarm intelligence cannot be achieved. But let me tell you also that right now we don't have any such technology that the perfect drone swarm can be achieved. Means we don't have any technology where all the drones are of same configuration and they are in hardware implementation. Of course, in simulation it's done, but in hardware implementation for the longer duration, longer endurances, we need the drone swarm where few members are have different configuration than the others. Why that different configuration is required, I'll tell you that. So first is the homogeneous. Another thing, I just forgot what I wanted to discuss. Configuration, yeah, size, drone swarm size, group. You know, I told you that group. So there is a obvious question that how many members group, how many members would be there? Size, what should be the size of the group? So my answer is that there is no specific group size defined to solve a particular problem. It depends upon the complexity of the problem. If you want to survey, suppose this is your complete Delhi area, right? Delhi area, and this complete Delhi area is to be surveyed, then the different number of drones will be required. And if it is suppose the Noida, right? So Noida area is smaller than the Delhi area, right? Noida, of course, whatever the Noida, the total area is less than the Delhi, right? So the number of drones required will be less. So the maximum number of drones, how much required, that I do not know. That completely depends upon the complexity of the problem, size of the problem. But what I can say that the minimum number of drones are required to have the swarm intelligence, right? You cannot go with the three drones. You took the three drones and say that now I will develop a swarm intelligence based algorithm with these three drones and solve a problem, because my problem size is very small. So three drones are sufficient for me. Then I will say that no. The swarm intelligence behavior may not be achieved in the three drones, four drones, five drones. I did some mathematical analysis and I found the 10 drones. Actually, when I did some numerical experiments, I found it 10, and based on the mathematical analysis, I found it to be 12. So total 10 or 12, that's okay. Means minimum 10 drones are required to have a good swarm intelligence behavior. But when I say that 10 drones are required, doesn't mean that 10 drones are sufficient. Then why we require more than 10 drones? No. Again, the 10 drones are minimum criteria to have the swarm intelligence. Now, to achieve the solution more efficiently, you need more drones. You need more drones if your problem complexity is high, but minimum 10 drones are required. And let me tell you that managing 10 drones simultaneously without collision with the obstacles, without maintaining certain speed, being in the confined area is not an easy task, for which we require very complex algorithms. The objective of the drone swarm is to develop an autonomous system. You can, what I said is the size of the, for this I wrote a blog also. You can just Google by name and can find on Medium. The Medium is an online magazine. So there I wrote a blog also on the size of the drone swarm, right? So how many drones are required, or how many, what is the swarm size, minimum swarm size required. So you can see there in detail. I wrote in detail there. The objective of the drone swarm is to develop an autonomous system. This is an autonomous system. Drone swarm, ultimately in drone swarm, what we want, an autonomous system consisting of a group of drones, typically 30 or more. So what I said, the minimum 10 is the minimum, but to have efficient solution, using some efficient techniques, you need 30 or more drones, right? Important thing is 30 or more drones we require, and another important thing is the connections among them, how they are connected with each other. If you remember, like this is in that video it was mentioned, right? So how they are connected with each other? They are connected like this. They are connected like this. This is one spanning tree. There may be another kind of connections, and there may be another kind of connections like this also, that they are more than spanning tree. More than means they are connected directly also. They are connected directly also with each other. With each other, they are connected directly. I hope you are getting my point. So it is called star topology, fully connected structure. So how they are connected, that is important, right? Another thing is the ability to perform a well-defined task. So they should have an ability to perform that particular task for which they are flying. For example, identifying a certain area, dropping something or some whatever. So these three are the major challenges, that you need to make an autonomous system of 30 drones. You need to define the connections among them, and you need to define the ability to perform that particular task. So here just I mentioned the same thing in detail. Actually, swarm members should be able to communicate and collaborate, preferably without any central control. So here I particularly mentioned the word preferably. Wait for no, Pallavi. Wait for 10 minutes. 30. Finishing. Shut the door, please. So. The swarm members should be able to communicate and collaborate with each other, preferably without any central control. Preferably, I use the word preferably. Actually, it should be without central control, but if it is not possible, then I used this preferably. This is my preference. Without any central control, it should be complete autonomous system. The swarm should be an independent autonomous system. It should be independent from the control station, which can find out the target in complex landscapes. So this is our ultimate target. Okay. Now I tell you that the classification of drone swarm. Actually, this classification of drone swarm is because of the limitation of the research facilities that we have right now. Whatever the technology right now we have, based on that, this classification is done, right? So you have a swarm of drones this can be classified into two parts, fully autonomous and semi-autonomous. What does it mean? Fully autonomous means there is no control. There is definitely no control from the central station. But say in semi-autonomous, in between, it's a guided search. Guided search means, let me give you an example. Suppose here is the control station and this is the target, then and your drones are moving. Here are some obstacles. Here are some obstacles. So they are moving here, and from the control station, they are moving here from here to here autonomously. And at this point, this control station guided the swarm that you move in this direction and reach up to at this altitude and then move direction in this direction, right? So, you know, at some point of time, the control station is guiding the swarm. Then it's a semi-autonomous system, and some part is done by the swarm itself. It's a semi-autonomous system. So right now this is very common, and this is very practical also nowadays. But of course we don't need this, because it may not be possible that this distance, if this distance is suppose 100 kilometers, suppose 150 kilometers, then there may be a chance that the communication from the ground station to here up to here cannot be established. This communication range is too much, right? Is too much. So it may not be established. Suppose on a Wi-Fi network they are working, right? Then it may not be established with 150 kilometer. In that case, they have to take decision in itself, right? In itself, all the drones has to take the decision in itself. There may not be any feedback from this control station at this stage. So ultimately we need the fully autonomous system, because suppose the India wants to, India and China suppose had a war, and India wants to attack through drones to the other part of the, not the border area, but the other border area of the China. Then it's a long range. It's a long range, and for that range we can't control, right? We may not have the direct line of sight or direct communication. In that case, we can send an autonomous drone system, kamikaze kind of drone system, and they can just go there and can drop themselves itself also. They can be the bomb also, right? Drone bomb, it's called drone bomb, right? So this kind of attack may be there, but for that we need the fully autonomous system. Now what happened? Another point of view of the classification is this: single layered and multi-layered drone swarm. So what is the single layered and multi-layered? Actually, what happens? The communication from the ground station can be done. Suppose this is the 3 drones, they are communicating with this one drone, and these are the 3 drones which are communicating with this drone, and these 2 drones are communicating with this one drone. This is the hierarchical communication. Hierarchical communication. So you can see here that if just think of a situation when the communication limitations are there. One drone cannot communicate with all the 9 drones. Here are the 9 drones, right? So cannot communicate with the 9 drones. Then what it can do? It can communicate with one, right? So all these 3 are communicating with this one. So this concept is sometimes called master-slave concept. So here is the master drone, and these are the slaves, and these are the super master drone, right? So which are controlling these masters also. So ultimately this drone is taking the decisions, right? And this drone is communicating whatever this information has, it is passed to this drone via this drone, and ultimately this drone will then communicate this, whatever this information has, it will be communicated to this drone, and so on, right? So ultimately this is the point of contact. This is the center of the communication, center. This is the center of communication. Now just imagine a situation when this drone is collapsed. This drone is collapsed. So it's not a Fiji. This is not a robot system. If this drone is collapsed, or some some anti-drone system is there, anti-drone missile is there or something. So they will kill this. The enemy will kill this drone, and then this entire system will be collapsed because they are connected with this drone. So, we don't want this kind of hierarchical system, because these systems are not robust systems. In case of fully autonomous drones, where the drones are independent, all are at the same stage, all are communicating with each other. And if suppose the enemy killed this one drone, then it's okay, no problem. One drone is gone, no problem. Others are working together, all are connected with each other. One is gone, no problem, right? But if they are connected like this, then there may be a problem. But simultaneously, if there is a problem in hierarchical drone, then there is also a problem in the fully connected system, these kind of systems also, because in this connection, a lot of information processing is required on board. And therefore, sometimes there may be a delay in the real-time response. Lot of communication. This drone is taking the information from these 3 drones, right? And of course, if it is more than 10 drones, then it is taking, suppose 30 drones, then 29 drones data is coming to this drone. 29 data is coming to this drone, and then lot of information processing is being done. Lot of information processing is being done on this drone onboard computer. And if this is done, then there may be a delay. And by the time the speed is very high, and they can collide with each other. What is this? Professor Manish, can you see there's some Washu?
Yes, sir.
Allow, denies. So somebody is requesting control. So can you see here? Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, I am checking, sir.
So lot of, I think,
sir, deny, sir. Sir,
yeah.
Sir, you can deny, sir.
Okay, so Monica Singh. I request all the participants. You can. I think Professor Manish can. Other participants
you can deny, sir.
Yeah, it's okay. No, other participants can unmute themselves if they have any question, or they don't have the rights to unmute.
No, sir. Okay. Okay, I am going to unmute.
No, just
if anyone want to ask any question, please raise your hand. I will unmute them.
Yeah, that will be a good thing. Otherwise,
if anyone want to ask any question, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, where I watch
Dr. Prabhat want to ask question. Prabhat, sir. Prabhat, sir, please. Okay, sir, you can proceed.
Okay. So this there is again a problem with this single layer system. This is a single layer system, and this is a multi-layer system. This is a multi-layer system. So of course, multi-layer system has their inbuilt problems. A single layer system also has a problem because of the delay. Because of the lot of processing, onboard processing will be there, and if there's onboard processing is there, so there may be a communication delay. And if this communication, due to this communication delay, the drones can collide with each other. In that video, you must have seen that suppose they are going towards the wall, and then if there is a delay from the first drone, then other drones can collide with that particular drone. So we need the quick communication, and for that quick communication, this topology is better, and for robustness, this topology is better. So of course, we need to find out. This is a challenging task. So how to communicate with each other. Finding the suitable topology is definitely a great challenge. Okay. So now I'll share that how the positions are updated in the drone swarm. So I'm giving you just general idea, not the detailed idea, because it's a big complex function. And you can go ahead with that paper that I mentioned that has the full formulation also of the problem. So autonomous means the swarm of drones should not be controlled by the ground station, but the direction and distance be covered should be decided by the drone swarm itself. How much, in which direction they need to move and how much distance is to be covered in that particular step. It is to be decided by the drone swarm itself. And this decision should be taken by the information shared with each other, right? So this they are communicating with each other, information shared with each other, and accordingly the decision is to be taken. So a typical update equation is this: x equal to x plus h, and let us call a drone by its position. Suppose this x is one drone position, so the new position equal to old position. This is your old position and this is your new position. So new position equal to old position plus h. And let me talk, this h is the factor, this h is the factor, sorry, this h is the term that is obtained by the interaction of the drones with each other, and this h is deciding in which direction we need to go and how much we need to go, and therefore I define this h as the interaction term. I call this as an interaction term. So this h is term obtained by the interaction of drones x with other drones, right? Interaction of this drone x by the other drones. Every drone is communicating with every drone, or they are communicating with their neighbors, whatever kind of topology you are using, right? So the topology that we can use is that everybody is communicating with everybody, right? Like this. Or we can say that, okay, they are communicating with their neighbors like this. So everybody is not connected with each other right now, but they are communicating with each other. So whatever. So if this is your x, then this x will move in this direction. Suppose in this direction, then how much, which direction and how much step size, this is step size. All this is decided by this h, and this calculation is the outcome of the communication of this x with other drones, right? This is the outcome of this x with the other drones. Okay. Now, how to decide this h? The important thing is how to decide this h. This h is the interaction of a single drone with other drones, right? So the one very simple approach, the PSO kind of approach, It's not a PSO, it's a kind of approach. And let me tell you one very important thing, that whatever the swarm intelligence based algorithms available right now, no algorithm can be directly applicable to the drones, because in all the swarm intelligence based algorithm, the ultimate objective is the superimposition. What does it mean, superimposition? Like these are the drones. Suppose these are the drones. Then the ultimate objective is that after a few iterations in all the swarm intelligence based algorithm, all the drones concentrate at this particular point on the optimal location. All the drones come and they reach at that particular location, right? So this is the objective of the swarm intelligence based algorithms. But in our case, the drones cannot collide with each other. Drones cannot superimpose with each other, right? Of course, if they are flying at the same altitude, they cannot superimpose to each other. In that case, we need to customize our existing swarm intelligence based algorithms for these drones so that without colliding with each other, because in the swarm intelligence algorithm, collision is allowed. There is a concept of dispersion, right? So dispersion in the autonomous flocking, there's a concept of dispersion. In the all swarm intelligence based algorithm, dispersion is not allowed, right? Is not considered, while in case of drones we need to consider the dispersion, right? And therefore all these swarm intelligence based algorithm like PSO, ABC, Gray Wolf optimizer, whatever kind of swarm intelligence based algorithm we are using, spider monkey optimization, we need to customize them for the drones especially. So of course, a lot of research is required in this area. So now the definition of edge depends upon the topology of interaction. This definition of edge depends upon the topology of interaction. What kind of topology we are using. For example, if we consider that every drone is interacting with each other, just consider that fully connected structure, star topology. It is called star topology, fully connected structure. And they have decided that a particular drone XG, XG for G best, right? Global best. In PSO, I took this terminology from PSO. So XG is the most close to the desired location. Most close to the desired location means the best solution, right? So XG is the drone position, which is the best right now. So let other drones should also move towards this drone. And this is simply a simple vector equation. Let me tell you, I wrote this equation based on this equation. AB vector equal to OB vector minus OA vector. Right? So you see here that the terminal point is here and this is the initial point. So OB minus OA, then you write AB vector. So here XG minus X. So actually it is your XG vector, means the direction is towards XG. Direction is towards XG. So this term is going to give you the direction that in which direction any drone should move. Of course, in the best direction it should move, where the best solution is moving, right? So the direction got it. Now, how much step size it should take, right? It cannot be like X should be equal to XG. If X should be equal to XG, means X cannot superimpose to XG, otherwise they will have a collision. And therefore, there should be a control parameter here. There should be a control parameter here, that is the T. This T is a control parameter which is restricting it to collide with the XG, right? So it should be less than 1. It should be less than 1, right? This T should be less than 1 so that it can be just before the XG. Otherwise, it will collide with each other, or it can be greater than 1 also. It can even further move. It can jump the XG also. But if it will jump, there is a risk that the XG may be close to the wall, and if it is jumping the XG, then it can go away from the wall or it can collide with the wall, right? So usually we keep this T less than 1, right? So this is the one general update equation for the drones in the drone swarm, right? So if the objective, yeah. Another, this one is to reach at the optimal location. Now, if the objective is to make a cluster of all the drones in the given area, then XG minus X, then this XG minus X may be simply an ordinary difference of X minus X and XG, means it's a Euclidean distance. Then it will be a Euclidean distance, and all will make a cluster at a particular point. What are the challenges in the drone swarm? So most important challenge is the topology used for communication among the drones. That which kind of topology we should use. I already told you that there is a problem with the hierarchical topology. There is a problem with the hierarchical topology, and there is a problem with the single layer topology also, right? Single layer communication also. So both kind of topologies have their own problems. So which topology we should use so that we can avoid both kind of drawbacks. Other challenges are the minimum number of drones required to implement the proposed topology. How much minimum drones are there? How minimum drones required to solve that particular problem, means if the government wants to survey the Noida, then how many drones are required? If they want to survey the Delhi, how many drones are required? So all these kind of strategies are to be decided. Maximum and minimum distance. You know, this I think I personally feel that this is the most challenging task when you implement in hardware the algorithm. Maximum and minimum distance. If the distance is too much, suppose this is the one drone and this is the another drone and this is the another drone. So if the distance is quite far, quite far. Suppose you take 20-meter distance, 30-meter distance between each drone, then it's okay, very good, and they will avoid the collision. You know, will have enough time to process the information, and you can maintain a certain speed also, right? Maintain a certain speed also. But what can happen that the communication may sometime be lost. You know, if this is 30-meter, if this is 30-meter, then the distance between this and this will be 60-meter, right? And if you have, just imagine you have 30 drones, then 30 into 30, 900. 900 meters, almost 1 kilometer distance will be there, and there may not be the sensors, enough sensors, enough communication Wi-Fi network, which can communicate with this drone and the last drone in that particular network. So the network with the first drone and the last drone may be lost, right? So you may not communicate, you may not use the fully connected structure in this case, right? Another thing is, so maximum distance, you cannot take too much distance. Otherwise, this will not be a swarm, right? You have to limit the maximum distance. Simultaneously, if you will take minimum distance between with each other, that how much minimum distance should be maintained, right? That minimum distance is again a challenge. That if you will come too close, then since communication delay is there, so there may be a collision. Usually, based on this GPS accuracy, 5 to 10 meters. GPS accuracy is 5 to 10 meters, right? So based on this, because of this, usually the distance in the drone swarm, the distance between two drones, minimum distance between two drones is taken to be 10 meters. And maximum distance can be taken up to 20 meters or 30 meters, right? Depending upon your network availability and the number of drones in the swarm, right? So I think this one is the one major challenge. Nowadays, people are finding another solution, that is they are doing it vertically separate, not horizontally, not only horizontally separate, they are making it vertically separate also. So, 4 drones are flying here and 4 drones are flying here. So, they are not too much far. All the 8 drones are not too much far, and still they are saving themselves, So 10 meters up, 10 meters down, there are many layers. But in this case, what I personally feel, if you are doing a survey, of particular area, particular region, then this particular solution is not helpful. Suppose the 3 layers are there, then this particular layer is doing survey of this area, suppose up to this. So this area is covered by this layer, then these 2 layers are useless here. These 2 layers are useless. If this survey kind of thing is required, then you need the horizontal separation only, so that in the simultaneously you can do the survey of a larger area, right? So ultimately we need to find out, this is temporary solution is okay, but ultimately we find out some good topology, some good communication network, some good solution, so that the horizontally separated drones can communicate with each other. Another challenge is the self-healing. That how to handle if one or more drones crash. Then how to handle this situation. Means you need to define the topology, robust topology, in such a way that if one or more drone crash, still the drones can keep on continuing talking with each other. Another is this GPS denied environment. So actually this one I'm not going to discuss, because this is mainly related to electronics, that how to communicate so that in GPS denied environment it can be handled. Okay. Swarm of drones, scenario assumptions, various in the experiments you can think of this kind of various situations. Various landscapes are there. Means you have a flat terrain, you have this kind of terrain, right? Suppose some person is here and he requires help, then you need to develop some deep learning based, image processing, so that he can identify this person also, and he can identify this person also. So any kind of landscape can be used. The swarm does not have any prior knowledge of the targets. Of course, they have to search the target, moving targets. If the target is moving, then also it should be able to find out and search in the given irregular area, irregular kind of area, different landscapes. Okay. Now the important thing, that last thing I'm going to discuss, because the time is coming up, and at last I will share the challenges also. So what I want to share is the communication strategies. Different information sharing strategies are there, and I'm fully connected or less than fully connected structures are there, and I'm going to discuss you with few structures. So here is the one that I want to propose, is the one first topology. Here is the first topology that I want to propose. Let me tell you that this one, just see here, that these are the 4 drones. These are the 4 drones.